All right. I don't even know how to start this one.
Yeah, we don't really have a start anymore. But the last 2 episodes now, or last whatever order we release these in, have just opened with cold us just smiling and staring at each other.
That's how in love we are.
Wordless. Always the best for podcasts.
That's right. Saying no words.
Yeah. Less is more in a pod.
Sexy indifference.
That's it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Big Smartless fans.
Yeah. Hey you.
Hey you.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's good. This is a great night.
It's a great night.
Great night. Michael was so good and happy and cute today.
He really had such a great
He had a great day.
Yeah.
Just one of those like winning parent days.
Yeah. Happy.
Not fussy.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows
So
what
fun.
tomorrow holds, but today was such a fun day with him.
We'll take the win.
Yeah, we'll take the win. He usually helps you pick out the flowers for the episodes. Did he help you with these ones? I can't remember.
He did not.
Was
These
this
were a pickup and surprise.
That's right.
Yeah.
He did get to smell them, though. I do remember that when he put them in the vase.
Yeah.
He was excited.
He was
About
excited about that.
Yeah.
He loves. Oh, he there was a flower in his book tonight, and he put his face up to it because he smells every flower.
He does.
He loves to smell a flower.
He does. It's very funny. A picture of it. The other day we were on a walk and there were flowers, but it was like a thorny bush.
Mm-hmm.
And your dad and I were a little worried that he was gonna like go and try to hold the flower. He didn't. He literally just leaned forward, smelled it. That was it.
It's the most peaceful thing about him.
It's beautiful.
He's so gentle with a flower.
He really is. It's so sweet.
Yeah.
It's so sweet.
Yeah.
So, there's your Michael update right there. He's doing great.
He's doing great.
Happy kid. I feel like he got taller in the last, 2 days.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Well, what's going on with our stove now?
we had to child-proof the knobs of our stove.
Yeah.
Because...
he was... As I was cooking something, and he, literally turned the fire up and down.
I thought we had more time. I really did.
I mean, he was totally safe.
Yeah.
He just was able to turn the knob, but...
Yeah.
We're there now.
Yeah, we're there now. I feel like he was able to, even a month or two ago, reach up, but he really, really had to reach for it. And now he's just easily boop, there it is. And
Pretty easy. Pretty easy. He's looking eye level with this table now.
Yeah.
Those covers are hideous.
They're awful.
And so annoying to have to unclip and then twist, and then you go inside and twist again to turn on
I'll be honest and say I've had them for a while. I bought them months ago.
Anticipating this moment.
And genuinely I didn't put them on the stove because I was like, these suck.
Waited as long as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably the ugliest child-proofing thing we've had to do.
I agree.
The electrical outputs is as soon as he could crawl, we had to do that.
Yeah.
That was one of the first things. And that's fine.
Yeah, but they look nice.
That's fine. Those
Yeah.
are subtle.
No. The rest of the house is child-proof.
Yeah.
And looks good. That
The
looks
stove knob covers
hideous.
ugly. We can't have nice things. We're those parents who can't have nice things now.
I would love for anyone watching this, if you could invent a way to child-proof the stove that's better than that.
You can't. No, you can't. And it's okay. And that's what it is. It's not gonna be pretty.
It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be cute.
No. But it's gonna be effective.
And it is effective. He saw them this morning, and he reached up he wanted to turn the knob a little bit, and he couldn't. He kind of played with the stove for a little bit, but nothing happened.
Quickly
and then,
lost interest.
Yeah, he was like,
Perfect.
all right, see you later. And then
Perfect.
he came out of the kitchen. So there you go. And that's where we are now as parents. So
That's where we are.
it's wild.
I'm so proud of him.
Me too.
I'm also so proud of our script that we're going to talk about today.
The segue. Wow. That was beautiful.
So, The Kindness of Strangers is a screenplay based on a true story, your true story.
Correct.
Ashley, what made you want to talk about this today?
Oh my goodness. Well, I think people had a lot of questions about this script and I guess my story last year. There was, I'm sure we'll get to it, but there's a People Magazine interview.
Let's get to it. Let's start right there. That's a great place to start. Yes, People Magazine wrote an article about this very personal piece of your life.
Yes. I'll start off. Why don't I start off by saying this? People Magazine reached out because I had said a few things on TikTok about my relationship with my mother and how I grew up. I feel like there were a good amount of people who were like, oh, she probably posted this for attention. And let me just set the record straight. I did not. The questions were really about Bucket and Skinner's epic adventures. And then I believe it was like Bucket and Skinner, and I segued into going to NYU. And just for the sake of being honest, I had said something about like, oh, the funds had run out, so I couldn't go for another semester or something like that. And somebody commented on it, and it's something that I had, I guess, talked a little bit about before, because we'll talk about this in a little bit as well. But like the script that we wrote, The Kindness of Strangers, won an award, and we had a table read for it. So I kind of I had said it in an Instagram post like forever ago, a few years ago. So I guess when people were really surprised by my TikTok videos, I was like, oh, why are people surprised? What happened? And then People Magazine saw some of the videos, and that's why they reached out to me. But like, there was definitely no like, I'm gonna start posting this for attention. Oh. Why would I want that kind of attention?
It's interesting you even feel the need to say that. Were there comments like that?
There were a couple of comments like that. Okay. I think it's one of those things, and I've said this a ton, especially since the interviews come out. Like, you don't really understand it unless you've been through it, and like that's why you talk about it, because it feels very isolating when it's happening to you. Yeah. So I have no issue being very open and honest about what happened with me and my mom, because I did feel very isolated when it was happening to me. So I'm like, if I can talk about it and like help people, then I'm very happy to do so.
You had some people reach out to you afterward who were in a similar situation said that hearing your story was very helpful, and that meant everything to you, and that made it worth it for you.
I had talked to my dad before I did the interview with People Magazine, and just like made sure with him, because you know my dad and I are very close, so I wanted to make sure that you know he was going to be affected by the story. I wanted to make sure that he was okay with it, if he had any thoughts about it, any advice on it. And he was like, look, if you tell the story and it helps one person, then like it was worth you telling the story, so tell the story. And it did. There were strangers who reached out to me. There were friends of mine who reached out to me who had either gone through something similar or were currently going through something very similar. So I felt like, I felt like it was worth posting those videos in the first place, and worth doing the interview with People Magazine, just to help whoever's going through it.
I remember when you got that Bucket and Skinner question, and like, why wasn't there money to go back to NYU?
Yeah.
You said, should I answer this honestly? Because you knew it was going to get a response.
Yeah.
And we decided, tell the truth.
Yeah. I mean, it was something I hadn't said before. I guess I hadn't said it in that format, because I never did a video on it. I had posted just like a photo on Instagram of what we were doing in New York with the script. But it was like, I thought about it, but I guess I didn't think about it like for very long. I kind of just was just like, I think I'm going to be honest about this. And then I just did the video. And yeah.
For anybody listening who hasn't read the People Magazine article or doesn't really know what we're talking about, would you feel comfortable kind of telling the story.
Yeah. I had a very unique upbringing, I guess you could say. My mom was very narcissistic, very mentally, emotionally, sometimes physically abusive. And it all kind of culminated in me leaving home when I was 22. Financially abusive as well, I should also say. That was a huge part of the videos in the first place. But I left home when I was 22 after she attacked me one night. She choked me out of nowhere because I wouldn't quit a show that I was doing that she did not want me to do. And the next day I literally packed my bags and got out of there. And we talked for maybe a little while after that. I really tried to like mend everything and like keep things as nice as possible. But then there was just a point where I was like, I think I have to call it. I think I have to just stop talking to her. And honestly, it was the best decision for me. And I still stand by that. I haven't talked to her in years. You've never met her. Michael will not meet her. And I feel really good about that. My life is better for it. That's the short version of the story.
It's always hard to hear you tell it.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. But I came out the other side okay. Like, I guess I should also make that very clear. I am very okay these days.
It's, I mean, you left the house with nothing.
$0.
I mean,
she took it all.
You know, I think people would have assumed that you had money from Nickelodeon, but that was all gambled away.
It was gambled away. It was spent. Even when I had left the house after she attacked me, it was little things. Like I was working on lab rats at the time, and I forgot that like the paychecks would be sent to the house where my mom was living, where I was no longer living because I left the house that was under my name. And she deposited the check because she was still in all of my bank accounts, and she deposited the check and then waited until it cleared the next day and took all of that money out of the account, all of the money that I had earned. So even like when I left, she still had this like weird control over my life. It took a long time to like untangle myself from all of the like things that she was involved in. It was really crazy.
It's inspiring how you left because you knew that you had to, and then you started from scratch and like rebuilt yourself from there.
Yeah.
We mentioned financially, but also just like becoming your own woman, you know, living on your own. You rescued your dog and got your dog out of there.
I did, my girl.
You took care of your girl. And you found a life, and you made some friends, and
I did.
That's kind of what this screenplay is about, is that that time when there was a push and pull, you were asking for just a little bit of freedom and just like some kind of a more reasonable, you were 22, and some of the really controlling things that she was still doing at that time, you just wanted that to stop, and you wanted to kind of be what anyone would consider normal.
So normal. I think that was the craziest thing to me, is that I was never asking for. I've never been any sort of wild child. I'm such a goody two shoes, like too much of a goody two shoes.
Yeah, so much. So much.
And like I never, like, my wild child phase was putting on makeup every single day and like putting on doing a really good makeup day. Like that was my rebellious phase, and like wearing black clothing all the time.
Starbucks was your like crazy.
Yeah, and that's what I was asking her for. I was like, I just want to like have the ability when my friends are like, can we go get coffee? Can we go to dinner with you? I want to be able to say yes and not have you waiting for me in the parking lot and texting me the entire time going, I'm tired, let's go home. Like, I just wanted to be able to see other people.
22.
Yeah, because I'm 22. And
like a mature 22 who had been on TV for 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it she kept us really far away. We lived an hour and a half away from LA, so that it was very hard to see anybody who did ask, like, if they could see us or have coffee or dinner or whatever it was. And I think that was the craziest thing of all, is that, like, I wasn't asking for the world. I was just asking for, like, some breathing room. And I think in terms of the script, it was always so interesting to me because I had always felt such a kinship to, like, my chosen family all the time. Like, for Lion King, right? Like, those people really became my family, and I was so close to them. I still am so close to so many of them. True Jackson was a family of mine for 3 years, and, like, changed my life, and, like, was there for me through a lot of the crazy shit that my mom pulled, like, truly. um like, even Bucket and Skinner, like, the boys are still a part of my family. Like, I find chosen family, like, in a lot of different places. And
Rockwell.
Rockwell, like,
Yeah.
Rockwell, and that's really kind of what the story is based on. Is I did a show at Rockwell and became really close to all of these people, and she hated that I was close to all of these people. And like, I felt like there were a few cycles of that in, like, throughout my life. She never had an issue with anybody in Lion King, which was nice. I remained close to them. She was totally fine with that. I think probably because I was 11, 12 when I did that, so she had a lot more control over that. But, True Jackson was 15, 16, 17, like, at a time where a child normally would, like, go off and start having their own friends and, like, start becoming a little bit more independent. And I think she really didn't like that. So there were instances where she would really just, like, dig her claws in and not allow me to have any sort of freedom. And then I'd say this Rockwell show was another time where I got really close to all these people, and I think they were a little bit older than me, and I don't think she liked that. But I also think that's why I was like, no, like, these people really know what they're talking about. Like, everybody's saying, like, the way that I'm growing up is very peculiar and, like, very not normal. And like, there was a birthday party very early on in the rehearsal process that I wasn't able to go to, and I was so devastated about it. I was like, it's just a birthday party. Like, we're already in LA. I'd love to stop by. It was a no. Like, there were so many little things, and I think I feel very lucky because that chosen family at Rockwell, they were the ones that, like, got me out of there. They were the ones that, like, really inspired me to really put my foot down and actually leave. And it was obviously tumultuous. She attacked me. She, it was a whole thing, but I got out of there, and she said that I wouldn't be able to do it, that, like, nobody would be there for me, and they really were. So chosen family matters.
Yeah, this was a special show that you did.
It was really special.
You had a real connection with that group of friends, and it's a great thing about doing a show.
Yeah.
And you have had it multiple times, but
Yeah.
that one in particular, it seemed like very intense, and because you were going through what you were dealing with at home, maybe more than any other show in your life, it really felt like those people just were there for you at a time when you absolutely needed that support.
I mean, they let me crash on couches for free. They, like, bought me meals when I needed it. Like, they were everything to me at the time. And it was so crazy because I had my mom on one side being like, nobody will ever be there for you like I am. Like, I am the only person that matters in your whole life. And then all these other people being like, do you need a place to stay? Do you need some food? What can we get you? How can we help you? And, like, really meaning that and really actually helping me through all of that. So it was a really weird, like, I had two ends of the spectrum telling me, like, so many different things. But again,
Yeah.
it was really difficult, but I made it out of there. And 2 years after I made it out of there, I met you.
Amazing. And then we wrote this during the pandemic.
We did. It stemmed from me telling you all of these, like, things that happened to me.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing my reaction. I've heard all of these stories that she's saying many times now, but, like, hearing that she choked you for the first time. Actually, it was on our third date, because you had mentioned like a little something, like it just sounded like there's something
Yeah,
there, something under the surface.
I had definitely said like I don't speak to my mom anymore.
Yeah, and so I was like, it was our third date, and we were sitting on a rock, looking out at the view of LA,
Mm-hmm.
and there were fire ants
Yeah.
biting our butts. But it was such a great moment that neither of us wanted to move off of the rock.
Nope.
Because I said, you know, our second date was beautiful. First kiss is amazing. Everything's so happy and new and romantic and exciting. And I was like, I'm not just here for the good times. Like, you can tell me the hard stuff too. It sounds like there's something that happened with your mom. If you feel comfortable, like, you can tell me. And that was when you first told me the story.
Yeah.
And then I've just heard more and more details. And
yeah.
Sometimes still you'll remember a random thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that's not normal that she, like, bathed you with skin whitening soap until you were 20,
Yeah. There are so many things to this day where I will say it, and it was just the way I grew up. Like, it was so normal to me. And it has taken me, now I've been out of the house for 11 years now. Goodness, wow. 11 years. And still there are things that were not normal that I'm like, no, that's just how I grew up. Nope, girl. Nobody should be showering with you until you're 22. That's not it. That's not what's supposed to happen. But it was just the way it went.
Yeah.
But writing this screenplay came from me telling you all of these stories genuinely because he was like, no, that's not normal. Like, this didn't happen, da da da. You eventually were like, if you really look at it, it's the hero's journey in a screenplay, like what you went through. And from there, I think you were like, you should read Save the Cat. I was like, okay. And I read Save the Cat. And then we made the index cards. Like, we made all of our notes. And I remember looking at, we had a corkboard at the time.
Yeah.
And we had put everything up on the corkboard. And I remember staring at the corkboard and going, oh my God, you're right. Like, it perfectly fits the hero's journey. There were a couple of things, like, timeline-wise that we had to, like, move up, move over, da-da-da-da. But, like, story-wise, it fits. And it was really crazy writing everything out.
Oh, yeah. There were certain scenes that we would sit down to write that were...
Yeah.
Sometimes it was like I needed to write it because it just felt like hard for you to write, and other ones where it just had to be you.
Yeah.
Because you lived it and it just had to be you.
I'll say because this is a public thing now, like where she attacks me, it had to be me. There was no way that you were able to come close to writing that one. I was like, I'm just gonna write down,
of course,
what the experience was. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
It was a lot of your obviously it was your story, and it was kind of, after we were already engaged and we were in a pandemic together, and because we had been doing the podcast for quite a while, because you had said you wanted to start a production company with me, and we started with the podcast, and then it just kind of became like the first logical project for us to write as you kept talking about it.
Yeah.
And
I think one of my favorite parts of writing it with you was every once in a while, not very often, but every once in a while, we would be like, oh, maybe this plot point isn't strong enough. And you'd kind of turn to me and be like, is there anything, like, did she ever do anything like this? And I'd be like, yes. And we would just, like, write that down. And it all, like, there was just like a never ending well of things to pull from, because it was 22 years of abuse and madness and chaos and gaslighting and narcissism. Like there was so much to pull from. And
there were a lot of people who gave you the note in people who read the first couple of drafts of, you need to make her more multidimensional. You need to like show us like the love and like show us that she's like a caring mom, and then like the arc, like it turns and it changes. But you really stuck to your guns of like, nope, that's not the story.
That's not the person. There was no arc. She is the villain. And it's funny because we
made it a little bit the way we kind of did it was the uncoiling of the public persona.
Yes.
And then you like you see, like we let the audience see a little bit like this big secret that you're kind of having to put on a smiley face and go be a Nickelodeon star, and the juxtaposition of what's happening at home that entire time.
It's interesting to me that it was always so interesting that we got that note, just because if you're reading like a superhero movie, right? The villain doesn't have much of an arc. The villain is the villain, and the villain just gets more evil as the thing goes along.
That's always what it is. Like they say something like maybe charming in the beginning that seems like innocent and charming, but then when you after all the layers get peeled away and you see that they're the villain,
they're just
like,
evil.
Oh no, they were evil the whole time.
Yeah. It's like for some reason right now, Sean Penn in One Battle After Another just came to mind. Like there was never a moment where I was like, I hope he gets what he wants. You know what I mean? Like, there was never a moment that I was like, I'm rooting for that guy. Never once. No. So when people would give that note, I was like, is it just because it's a mother and a daughter? Like, just because it's a mother and a daughter.
People have a really hard time with that.
It doesn't make it any less villainous what she did. And it was so hard, especially because that was the first script that I ever wrote. It was hard because I was like, after you get that note a couple of times, it's like, well, God, have we done something wrong? But I will shout out our friend Trina read it very early on. Trina's Asian. And she did not have a note on how villainous my mom was. She said it was probably one of the best written villains she's read.
Would you say more about the way that we wrote the Filipino characters in this story?
We tried to make it as real as possible. I would say...
there's a dinner that...
Yeah, I was going to say one of the scenes is like literally pulled from a real dinner that we had.
I hope Filipinos, if we get to make this movie someday, I hope Filipinos like feel that we got it right.
Yeah, because there is a sense of... a little bit of it is the Filipino culture, and we wanted to make sure that we touched on that. Like, a little bit of it is Filipino, but also my mom took it to just another level. But there are a lot of Filipino people who really understand what this control is, like this mother-child control thing that's going on, I'd say especially towards daughters in the family. So we wanted to make sure that that was really true. However, as with everything at Mismo Productions, I feel like part of the stamp of Mismo is that we do deal with a lot of like really dark subjects, and we try and add a little bit of levity to it when we can. And I feel like there are some really fun moments of levity in this. The dinner scene in particular. I remember we probably had done like a draft or two maybe, and we went to dinner with my dad and a bunch of his friends. And it was so unhinged. And you literally leaned over to me and you said, "This is the dinner scene." And I was like, "Oh my God." So then it just became us like just observing everything. And it was like such a joy for me, because that's just how I grew up. Like I said, it was so normal to me. But when you shifted my perspective and you were like, "No, this is what we're looking for. We want it to be real." It like changed everything. And every time I read that scene, it makes me giggle, because so much of that scene is what happened in real life. And I think the culture will get it. I think especially like Filipino kids my age will totally be like, "Oh, this is what it feels like to be at a Filipino dinner." It's kind of great. It makes me smile every time.
That dinner was so funny.
Yeah, it was great.
And I've been to a lot since then. And yeah,
They're just as unhinged as the last.
It's I don't know. How do I do at those things? Because I'm always
great.
I'm usually the only white guy.
You are absolutely the only white guy. And it's funny because that's such a stereotype in the Filipino culture as well.
It's
like somebody
too.
will inevitably marry the white guy.
Uh-huh.
And I don't ever think that I didn't think it was going to be me, but I don't know what I expected when I guess I didn't expect to get married at all when I was a kid because
Well, who were the guys you had crushes on, like growing up?
Leonardo DiCaprio and Matt Damon and Ryan Gosling.
And Vlade Divac.
Okay. Did we have to like go that far back? I was a baby. I was a child. I don't even remember why. What up, Vlade?
Whoa. Should I go?
No. Stay. Hey.
So we write it, and then like we're like, okay, so we wrote a screenplay. Like, what do we do? And we submit to all these screenwriting competitions.
Yeah.
And that was the first validation of, oh,
maybe we have something here.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like we did it and we were like, well, it'd be great to just get some feedback too. Because a lot of the like screenwriting things that you submit for, a lot of them will be like, oh, submit and like you'll get notes back from these working writers and stuff like that. And we were like, oh yeah, like let's get some outside feedback, like people who don't know us at all. Great.
You pay a little bit and you get notes. Like that seemed, I think that was like the main reason that we did it. We just wanted feedback.
100%. I'd gone on Film Freeway and I just looked up screenwriting like competitions or like whatever, and whoa, we got responses. Yeah,
you have this pulled up here.
Let me see.
Because I don't even, yeah.
We were a semifinalist for the Hollywood International Diversity Film Festival, a finalist for Evolution Mallorca International Film Festival. We almost went to Spain for that because they told us when it was going to be.
That's why we applied to that one.
Yeah.
We were like,
when we became a finalist for it, we were like, meow. A quarterfinalist for the Showcase Script Competition, an official selection for the Toronto International Women Film Festival. I was really honored about that one. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And then we won the Asian American International Film Festival screenplay competition.
Yeah.
Which
that included a table read in New York with New York actors.
Yeah.
And
let me tell you how good that felt, because that was the first response that we got. We submitted to a bunch, and the first response we got was, "You've won this thing, and we're giving you a table read for it." And I was like, "We did great. We did great. It's a hit." It was worth all the things that I went through because it's a hit.
It's not. No. It's not. But...
No. It was just so exciting that we had gotten that. Now, it was in New York, so we did not have to, by any means, get ourselves over there to do it.
But, like, of course we were going to go.
Of course we were going to do it. And here's where I say chosen family is awesome. A person who's attached to this script is somebody who you all know very well. It's Matt Shively. And for those who somehow don't know, I did True Jackson VP with him. There you go. So we wrote a role for him in this very early on. And he attached himself very early on, and we were very appreciative of it. So we won this competition. I texted Chives, and I was like, hey, we won this. And I just, because he had been traveling a bunch at the time, and I was like, if you find yourself in New York for this and you want to read your part, like, let me know. That'd be so fun. LOL. Like, not expecting anything. No. And he booked it. He was like, when is it?
It was amazing.
I told him. He booked a ticket immediately.
Yeah.
And he was there for the reading, and he read his part in the movie, which was bananas. And, like, my mom can tell me that chosen family doesn't matter all she wants, but, like, it matters. And, like, that was a really cool thing that he did. And he's been my chosen family since I was 15 years old. So, and I'm 33 now. So I think that friendship and that chosen family has spanned more than half my life.
Yeah.
You know?
Extremely cool. I got to know him a lot better
Yeah.
on that trip.
It was awesome.
We had met a handful of times, but I acted in it too, and
Yeah.
we got to act together and have some scenes together, which was so much fun.
Yeah.
And then we went out to this great dinner in New York, and I just remember like walking down the streets late at night in New York, the three of us.
Through my old stomping grounds at NYU.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
We were down that way.
Oh, it was so much fun. It was such a cool,
like having like done the thing.
Yes.
And then go to dinner after and like just be digesting it with him and like, oh my gosh.
And in a place where NYU was so important to me because it was where I really figured out, because I was still under my mom's like reign at the time. Like I figured out, because I was in New York alone, like, oh, I can do this. Like I can be a human being separate of my mother and like survive and thrive and like be okay. So to walk through Washington Square Park and like go to to get cookies where I used to get cookies and like go to dinner, like to see all this happening. Like I have
shout out Insomnia Cookies.
Thank you. We love you, Insomnia. To be walking through all of that, I was walking behind you guys, and it's like my husband and one of my best friends since I was 15 years old, my first like foray into chosen family, really, like just walking in front of me in this place that was so special to me was so surreal and so cool after just reading a script about all of the like traumatic things that happened in my life. But like I'll never forget it. It was so cool. Now, speaking of this table read, you were actually not going to read your part in The Kindness of Strangers, because there is a part for you in it, and we had originally said we just want to go as writers and like be writers first. But then you ended up reading it, and it was cool because we had like literally like one person on the inside, and then me, I just kind of like sat back and watched the whole thing.
That was a great thing about being a writing team, is we definitely wanted at least one of us to sit outside and listen to it, and that had to be you.
Yeah, totally.
It's most important that this story gets told the way that feels right to you.
Yeah.
And you got to hear it.
It was awesome. They hired Filipino actors to play my family.
I think we should say what a great organization that was, and what a well-run event that was.
The Asian American Film Festival International Film Festival was fantastic. We had an incredible director. They were so, they just took really good care of the story.
Yeah, I was going to say they took really good care of us, but yeah, they took really good care of the story too.
They did both. Yeah.
Yeah, and the cast that they put together was fantastic.
Phenomenal. I loved them. In addition to you and Shively being in it, my friend Gina was in it as well because she lived in New York and we needed a narrator. Yep. We needed somebody to read stage direction, and they were like, "Well, Gina, it's all you, dude." It was just a joy. It was really. I remember being very nervous before it happened because this was the first time anybody was going to hear anything that I had written. Scary.
Yeah, right.
And also
it's this.
Yeah, and it's like, and it's this. And I was like, well, man, we're really just kind of throwing ourselves headfirst into this, aren't we?
Yeah.
It was really intimidating, but I feel like I settled in. I feel like I settled in probably halfway through Act 1. And then as we got to like the big climactic things, towards the end there, I was like, oh, this is uncomfortable. And then we did a Q&A after, which was also like, I was like, here's more of my trauma. They
threw us an after party, like a rooftop bar thing that was so nice.
At a really cool bar, too.
Very cool.
Yeah. We had, what a phenomenal experience that was. And what a, what lovely validation for, just us as screenwriters. And again, even people there were like, they resonated with the story. Even if they weren't Filipino, like people really resonated with the story. And that is what mattered to me at the end of the day.
It has been cool to see every time you get feedback from either Filipino person who reads it or heard it and loves that representation, or somebody who's dealt with abuse themselves. And there's just a lot of people who have read it or heard it have seemed to feel very seen and have thanked you for that. So
Yeah, it's really nice.
I hope it gets made and we get to see how many people it would affect so many more.
That would be amazing. I have high hopes for it. I think I think it'd be really awesome if it got made.
I think it's worth saying that, going out there to New York, one of the things that we were hoping was, you connect with producers and it helps you get the story made. And that's kind of one of the purposes of doing these screenwriting competitions. Of course, for us, the writer's strike started the week after. And so we weren't allowed to take any of those meetings that might have happened.
Yeah.
So we kind of made Bali High instead.
That's real.
Like Bali High had not been written or conceptualized at all, but we just decided this is too big of a story and would be too big of a budget to just make ourselves. So we decided what's the smallest pared down story we could tell and get our first movie made, kind of on our own.
Yeah.
And we did that.
And what I also really love too is that we got a lot of experience with Bali High, and then going back to The Kindness of Strangers, we knew that there were just like some things we wanted to retool because we hadn't from when we did the table read.
Yes.
We had notes and we were like excited to implement those notes, and then we ended up not doing it.
We literally just came home from that and then just started on Bali High.
Well, no, because it was pens down first.
It was pens down for a while. It was
writer's strike, and then we were like, okay, so we'll work on that later. We went on our honeymoon, and then...
Oh, yeah, we came home. My best man got married.
Yes.
It was like a really fun summer. We went on our honeymoon, and...
Then we had a baby.
Honeymoon's when we started talking about the script, and then, of course, we had a baby. So, yeah, we've just...
Yeah, we hadn't had any...
We've been sprinting ever since New York.
Yeah, it's been wild. Like, we hadn't had any time to just implement any of the notes that we knew we wanted to from the table read. But I feel like it just all happened for a reason, because I feel like Bali High happened... Like, we learned so much writing, producing, and being in Bali High. And then coming back to The Kindness of Strangers, I... came back as a mom, which was so just helpful, I think, in the rewrites of it. I think we had cut a lot of things just for time's sake, and then as we rewrote it this time, I came back and was like, no, I want to re-add the things that I really loved and cut, because I want to like show people the best version of this, like the version of this movie that I'm the proudest of.
Yeah.
And like things will get edited. It'll be on the cutting room floor, I'm sure. But like, let's show people what I think it should be, what we think it should be.
That's right. For as long as it remains in our control, make it what you want it to be.
Exactly. Yeah. And then
coming
back to it as a mom was like, whoa. It was really just like, I can't believe these things happened to me. I would never do this to my son.
Becoming a mom for this particular story, can you say more about how that makes you view you could say your real life relationship with your mom, but for this question, the relationship between the main character based on you and the character based on your mom?
I think what it really makes me think of is that the mom, a lot of the time, I mean, it's me and my mom in the story. So like my mom a lot of the time would say, when you have a kid, you'll understand this. Like you'll know like why I had to make all these decisions. I don't know why she made all those decisions. They were terrible decisions. They were awful. And really it's just like now your gut tells you that at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But also I was like, well, I mean, I don't know. I'm 15. Like, I don't know anything. But now that I'm a mom, I'm like, no, I wouldn't make that decision. I wouldn't make the same decisions that you did. I just wouldn't. So that's really what I think of in terms of like where I am now and how being a mom has just shown me a different perspective.
Well, it sounds like when you left at 22, you were, sure that you were doing the right thing, but I'm sure it was a difficult decision. There must have been some doubts, and it sounds like becoming a mom, if there were any doubts left, becoming a mom has quashed that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. I think I'm working really hard to give Michael a more like actually normal childhood, not the childhood that I thought was normal, like a really normal and like fun childhood. I think we accomplished that. I hope we accomplished that.
Well, I had a really normal and fun childhood.
You did.
And he's off to a great start.
Okay, good.
So, and he's got a family who loves him so much.
Yeah. Or like, we started off the episode by saying this. He was gone for 5 days. He wasn't with us for 5 days.
With the family.
He was with the family. And like, I don't think she did something like that. I can't remember a time really where she did something like that. So
yeah,
it's little things like that, just like little decisions like that where I'm like, I know that this is good for his like I know it's good for him to be with other people just for a second, but I also know it's really good for me because I need a break. I was able to like sleep in for a couple of those days and like really like take care of myself, which I think is important in being a parent,
Yeah, and I think family is really important.
Yes.
And it is just such a luxury that we have the aunties and my parents who love that kid so much. And
yeah, they're the best.
We got a video of him splashing on the beach, like playing, like splashing his feet in the water, and we were totally at ease.
Yeah, I feel like we would get videos from his time with your family, and we'd be like, at least me, I'd be on set for Bali High, and I'd look at it and go, he's totally happy, he's fine, like he's doing great. And then, to know that he is happy and at ease over there, like makes me really happy. There's no sense of like, I feel like my mom would have just been very controlling over all of that, and I felt no reason or urge to be controlling of that at all.
No. Well, I'll say I've been honored that you have trusted me to help you tell this story and write it with you. And you've been very brave in sharing the screenplay, doing the People magazine interview, speaking on here today. And if the movie gets made, people are going to know a lot about your personal life and they'll see it. And what I've gathered from you is that if it helps people, which it seems to have, then it's worth it, and it's worth sharing. But I just want to say it's very brave of you the way you've told your story here.
Thank you. I will also say in terms of I know in a previous episode we talked about what it's like to work with your partner. I wouldn't have been able to write the story with anybody else. Like I wouldn't have trusted anybody to take the care that you took with it. You know what I mean? So thank you for helping me write it. It was worth it, and I hope it finds its way to getting made one day, because I think it's a story worth telling.
Well, I love you, and thanks for trusting me to help you tell it.
I love you. Thank you.
Is there anything else you want to say?
Just thank you all for the support. Were there a couple of weird comments? Yeah, absolutely. But for the most part, man, everybody was really supportive. To this day, like if I post anything about it, people are really supportive, and to hear people who have gone through the same thing or are going through the same things is always really sad, but it's always like there are so many of those comments, and I'm like, okay, none of us are alone. And those people know that like to speak out about it is really important because it's really isolating when it's happening. So thank you all for the support and for the love. I hope you all get to see The Kindness of Strangers one day. I hope it gets made so that everybody can see it. And I hope you all think that we did the story justice. And with that, good night.
Good night.